Billy Jack Haynes, unfit to stand trial. So
Yeah, he's nuts. He's nuts.
yeah, I don't know if you've been watching Dark Side of the Ring, this series. Have you?
No.
No. Billy Jack Haynes was interviewed from prison for an episode
Uh,
fought by Dark
uh,
Side of the Ring people.
oh, okay.
And basically, I'll just give you the story. It was recently reported that Haynes was set to stand trial in December of 2025, but now it's been reported that the 71-year-old has been found mentally unfit to stand trial. According to the reports, a judge ordered that Haynes be sent to the Oregon State Hospital as he's not fit to help with his own defense. A portion of the report reads, a report by a certified evaluator that looked at Haynes' behaviour at the hearing, statements from his attorneys and stipulations from both the defence and prosecutors stating that he's unfit. Even the prosecutors saying he's unfit, Dutch.
Well, he's in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
What other movie was made about a mental hospital in Oregon?
You're not saying One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest because that wasn't in Oregon, was it?
Yes.
I thought it was like Massachusetts way, New England. Am I crazy there?
No, it was in Oregon.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure it was in Oregon.
Well, shut my mouth then.
So anybody write us and tell us who's right, me or James. Okay. But anyway, long ago, even before he showed any signs of mental illness, I knew he was nuts. Like one guy wanted to rib him one time, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to rib Billy Jack when he comes back." And it was me and Black Bart standing there listening to it like he was one of the agents. And I went, "Oh God, don't do that." Why? I said, "Brother, don't do that, because it'll piss him off, and he will beat the living shit out of you." What? And he didn't do it, and that's the only reason, because what he was going to do, I forgot what he was going to do, but it wouldn't have it would have endeared Billy Jack to him. Billy Jack, I've read about some of his stuff, and he was not a hitman to kill people, but he was paid to really mess people up, and he could. He was a big guy too. So, and I don't know if wrestling added to his mental illness, getting hit on the head, contributed to it, but he's a guy that if he likes you, he's fine. But when he gets anger, he has anger management issues. He just can't handle it. So anyway, and I think this is what I've read about it. He killed his wife, and he had just married her recently, about a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she had, what did she have? Dementia?
Something like that, yeah. Keep in mind she was 20 years older than him, something like that.
Yeah. And he said he killed her to put her out of her misery, because she was really, really gone. And he shot her and killed her, and thinking that he was doing her a favor. And I think he presented that to the prosecuting attorney, and they said, "This guy's crazy." And I'm glad they recognized that, because I don't, there's humane ways to handle things. And I think they need to just put him in prison, a mental hospital, and let him stay there.
You were right, by the way. Salem, Oregon. I had
See?
no idea. Well done.
You never questioned me on that.
Yeah, I love that film as well, and I didn't know it was set there.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes, very good book as well.
Who was it? Jack Nicholson in it?
Yep.
Jack who?
Yep.
And he didn't know when they put him in there, it was dead time. He thought if he just do his 30 days or whatever, he'd get out. No, till he gets better, he's going to stay in that hospital, and he didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the Indian in it too. If anybody hasn't seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I highly recommend that movie. So it's a great movie.
The Billy Jack Haynes thing. Okay, just before I say what I was going to say, it's like, well, do you want to know like his mental state then? I mean, Exhibit A would be, here's this RF video shoot interview he did a few years ago, where he starts talking about like all the weird conspiracies where he somehow knows everything about everything. And then like the Boys on the Tracks murders or whatever like that. I even looked up the records, like the day the day of the murders, where Billy Jack Haynes somehow claimed he was all involved. He was 1,000 miles away wrestling somewhere else. It's like
Okay,
there's
the boys
easily
on the track.
disprovable.
Where was that?
I don't know, like Alabama or Arkansas or something. Maybe I can't remember.
Okay.
But like he was wrestling in like California that day. But yeah, he was mental for decades. Like to the point he was trying to insert
Yes,
himself
yes.
into these very famous
I cannot.
stories.
I cannot. That is one reason I never made plans to make a trip with Billy Jack.
Hmm.
I didn't want to be sitting there with a guy who's really just about to blow his top at all times. But when you talk to him, he spoke very low and he spoke under control. And I don't know, I never saw him really get mad at anybody, but I've heard, and I didn't want to be anywhere around him. So
Nuts. That made international news because apparently a lot of people didn't realize that Billy Jack Haynes would just make up nonsense. Like he was like, I have proof that Chris Benoit was Vince McMahon's son, or Vince McMahon had fathered Chris Benoit's son, and that's why Vince McMahon orchestrated Benoit and the entire family's death and stuff. And he's like, I've got proof, and that's what all these conspiracy nut jobs like Billy's always say. I've got the proof. They never show the proof.
No. But with a headline like that, if you saw it somewhere, you'd read it. That's all they want you to do anyway is read it, click on it. But he was doing this way back. He wasn't depending on clicks. It was something that he said. So anyway, I think how old is he now? 75?
71. Apparently.
71.
There's one more thing that we didn't mention is that the woman who he married was the mother of his best friend, and then his best friend died, or one of his best friends died, and so he immediately married the mother, who was in her like mid-80s, and then
Really?
and then like a year later he blows her head off.
Insane.